Hello everyone and welcome to another battle report. It was one that I didn't plan on going, but as it was an odd number, I went anyway to make up the numbers, and I would be spending some time on painting my derricks later on. So getting some extra games in with Skates Wildland was an additional bonus, as Sunday was tournament time, which is the day that I'm actually uploading this. So while you're watching this, I'm being splattered. Little spoiler, I changed out Scave at last minute and I'm gonna play Elephane probably at the tournament, but yeah. But we started with a game of Nemesis first, putting my Force of Frost Sareni's Razors versus Peter's Beastbound Assault powered Exiled Dead. So a swarm of electro zombies who all move as one. This will be a challenge. The boards had been laid down and the game was on. The Exiled Dead started with forming a conga line in order to protect their leader and score some points, aka the puppeteers from my infiltrating Idenef. Ranglaive, however, infiltrated the lines and took one of the zombie minions out, but in turn the other minions quickly surrounded him, and even though Elafir tried to reduce the number of opponents, it was to no avail. He was overwhelmed by all the claws and hands and feet and bites, and well, he fell. So that ended the first round with a 4-4 score on the board. In the second round opening phases, Regulus is sent in by Markov and he dispatches Elafir before she even has a chance to defend herself, leaving Sareni, who moved into enemy territory, prepare for a magical offensive. And that went horrible though. Her Pelagic Blast, as she was now inspired, needed lightning, and she rolled 2 swirlies. Then she cast Absolut's Avalanche, needing a swirly and rolling a lightnings. And then a freestyle finish needing 1 lightning ended up again with 2 swirlies, meaning she failed to cast every roll with the opposite of what was needed, and to add insult to injury, she fell herself by returning blows. Now before you ask, she had an ice counter from the spellbook that she had, and that was the only spell she successfully cast in the turn before. This only left Sephonir on the table against a whole tide of zombies and a 7-8 benefit for the Exiled Death. My third turn was based around getting the squid back to my half and chase off the zombies there, in order to hark some more glory and then equip a chasm key in the last turn for an extra point. Well, that was a plan. To activate a whole lot of upgrades on him for defense, he did have to use a range attack first so that he get the needed ice counter, and he took out a zombie. But there the plan ended, as Regulus immediately took him down before he could flee, and my band was wiped out. Some card cycling as all such was done, and the result was a 9-12 defeat. Not the greatest of difference, but nevertheless we went down to the numbers of undead. So, taking out Scave now, I set up for a second game against the other Peter and his Scabix Plague Pack. Both bands set to battle for glory the coming Sunday. Again, spoiler at the beginning. And I made a grave play mistake in the opening rounds. I went after Skritter, who had infiltrated in my lands onto an objective, first with Alphaean and Asimished with Skate himself. While he took the beast down, I made the mistake of thinking that while he did not give bounty, he would give me the run through and ritual kill objectives, which it did not, and it doesn't go out of action, but it's removed from the game. Having played like heaps of games with a fish, yeah, typical that I don't remember the rat doing the same thing. In the meantime, a combined assault by Ribidus, Skench and Puxlix, together with some ploys, had already dispatched Sheok and Legaean, so this wasn't going well at all, because I was 2 members down who didn't do anything. Carphaean and Scave went in to face the threat, Carphaean wounding Rabidus, and Scave made himself ready to attack the second in command by using Pounce. While hit and pushed back, he threw his javelin and took down Skench, now scoring the 2 cards from the rat after all. But yeah, as I said, had I not made a mistake, the other 2, 1 or 2 at least, could have done something. But the Plagueback scored heavily, and they were already 3-8 in the lead after the first round. The second round began with Carphaean being smacked down by Skabic, ironically of course, as I had just drawn a hand with a heap of spells for my now level 2 wizard, and Carthaean related objectives like Blow His Horn and Survive. Scave charged around 2 on the minions, his sighting attack wounding Rickit but mixing Puxlix, and because they were inspired he didn't take anyone down. Altain came into the fray now. Using a rapid shot upgrade, she first hit and pushed Skabic into a lethal hex to score an objective card, and then shooting the last wound of Rickit. But the scores didn't catch up and I was still 6-13 behind, so this was looking hopeless. with the board looking like this at the beginning of the final round. And yeah, I know the tokens are still there because I took the picture a bit too early. I had objectives that I traded in, like the 3 members with upgrades and some with a minimal chance to, like the one to get all objectives in one player's territory with 2 models remaining. That was pretty hopeless. I began by charging Alphane to Skabic. This had a reason that if she came so close was because I had a ploy that increased damage if supported for Skate later on if needed, but the Skaven leader also had upgrades that mitigated damage by 1 and 2 wounds left, so Skate wouldn't be able to one-shot kill him. However, if both my arrow shots for 1 damage would hit, one duly did, but the second was unfortunately blocked. Alphane paid for this brave attack with her life though, leaving Scave to throw his now retrieved javelin and taking the enemy leader down at last. All he could do now was charge to a sneaking Poxlix and take that red out as well, leaving 1 remaining Skaven and Scave on the board, on the total other opposites of the table. Thanks to some last activation objective cyclings, I scored my full objective hand, but it was not to be, as even with a solid glory, I still stranded at 13-17 defeat against the contaminating rats. So that's 2 defeats in the pocket tonight, and while in game 1 it could have made a huge difference if Karen's casting round was at least normal, not per se exceptional, in the second game the early play mistake cost me dearly. So it's getting ready for the tournament now, and the report of that tournament you will get next week, of course. And then it's up to and making ready for Into the Under Akron, the tournament I'm running myself. Thanks for listening and see you again next time. Bye bye.